It's the AV Club's game of fantastical decision-making, Pick a Choice, where our celebrity guests compete against nobody for non-existent cash and prizes. And now it's time to meet your host, me!
Hey, AV Clubbers, this is your senior editor, John Tatey, and it's time again to play Pick a Choice, the AV Club's game of picking choices and occasionally choosing picks. Our celebrity guest today, you may know him from Whose Line Is It Anyway? He also has two podcasts, the Greg Proops Film Club and the Smartest Man in the World, Proopcast. Greg, welcome.
Thank you, John.
Did you have a good show here in Chicago last night?
I did. It was awesome. Chicago's one of my favorite places to do the show. We get a giant crowd out at the Up, and it's like Woodstock. What can I tell you? There's a lot of love. A lot of love, a lot of music. Okay. So it's really fun.
If that was Woodstock, what is this?
This is like the day after Woodstock when we have to clean up and look at all the refuse on the ground and then consider the high water mark of the decade.
Greg, you know the rules, right? You're going to pick two famous names from our deck of blue cards.
Are they rules or guidelines, really?
They're more guidelines.
Yeah, okay,
they're
right.
suggestions.
All right.
Yeah.
There we go. Shall I read them off?
Yeah, let's see them.
Gordon from Sesame Street and Bending Rodriguez. Which one's Gordon?
Gordon is the black guy.
Oh, he was the tall black guy.
Yeah.
And who's Bending Rodriguez?
From Futurama. You ever watch that show?
Yeah. And John DiMaggio plays Bender.
That's right. And now the scenario.
Here we go. Woo, shoot. Playing Twister with you.
Okay. Do you want to play Twister with Gordon from Sesame Street or with Bending Rodriguez?
I want to play with Gordon from Sesame Street because I think it'll be educational. And he had one of those 70s baseball mustaches, which I always dug, like he was on the Oakland A's or whatever.
What is it about the A's? I associate that team with the mustache too. Them and the Royals. But that's because of George Brett.
Well, George Brett was hilarious because he chased girls with something close to a fervency. He was in the bigs for like 21 years, and then the second he was out of the big leagues, he got married.
Was he one of the wife swap guys?
No, that was Mike Kekich and Fritz Peterson. That was on that was the Yankees of the 70s. Before they were good, that was the pre-Bronx Bomber Yankees.
Right. Would you swap wives with Gordon from Sesame
No,
Street?
I wouldn't swap wives with anyone. No one touches my wife.
Oh, you always get so many.
I know.
I'm pulling them too tight. It's my fault.
Link from Zelda and Luigi.
Oh, two video game ones.
I'd never played a video game in my life, so I don't know who either of these people are. I have friends and stuff and drink and drugs. I'm very busy. I don't have time for gaming, but Zelda Fitzgerald, sure.
Okay,
No,
Zelda Fitzgerald.
All right.
Or now just name a Luigi that you know. This could be any Luigi.
Was one of the characters in Lady and the Champ named Luigi? Do you know the little cook and the big cook?
Which cook would you prefer to have here? Little cook?
The big one.
Okay, so we got Big Cook or Zelda Fitzgerald. Big Cook. I wish those were in the deck.
Kobayashi Maru'd this game completely by taking the rules and bending them.
Those two should be in the deck. Okay, so that's...
Okay. Spending a $100 Amazon gift card for you.
That's funny. You know, there's a lot of cards in the deck here. The same stuff keeps coming up. Wyatt Cenac also got this. So would you rather have Zelda Fitzgerald or, who was this? The Big Cook from Lady and the Tramp.
Lady and the Tramp.
Buy you $100 worth of crap from Amazon.
Well, I think if Luigi from Lady and the Tramp bought me stuff, it would probably be delicious. What are those almond-flavored cookies that come in the big tin? And, you dip them in coffee or biscotti or something like that. I mean,
okay.
Zablione, whatnot. Zelda Fitzgerald, of course, would be insane and would probably buy a gin, is my guess. So I'm going to say Zelda Fitzgerald just because it's the holidays, and I think it's always a great time to remember F. Scott Fitzgerald.
She'd buy you $100 worth of gin.
Her and Scott spent most of their time trying to sponge off rich people, and I think that's
quite successfully.
Yeah, worthy endeavor.
Well, that ends round two, Greg, which means it's time to make a big decision, in fact. Okay, so you have 10 seconds to make a big decision, and the clock will start now. Just looking at the camera silently and solemnly.
All right, I've made it. How big of a decision does it have to be?
Well, that's really up to you.
Okay.
Yeah. Just a little more silence, staring into the camera, if you could. Okay, Greg Proops, what is your decision?
I'm gonna have lunch after the show.
Gordon from Sesame Street and Zelda Fitzgerald are in our final round. And which one of them would you like to have in one of these scenarios? Oh, this Wyatt Cenac himself put this in the deck. This is very exciting.
Wow, Wyatt Cenac put this in. Making coffee with a Keurig coffee maker at the Adidas store. Wow, that's fantastic.
Yeah, Wyatt got real specific.
No
Okay.
kidding. I'm gonna go Zelda because after we have the coffee, I think there's definitely gonna be a long boozy lunch, and then probably trying to sponge off some people for like a yacht ride later. Nothing against Gordon. I think Gordon would make a sensational cup of coffee. My guess is he would probably go Romano and do just like a little espresso with a little lemon peel in it or whatever. I don't think he
With
would.
the Keurig, though, he's kind of limited.
I don't think those taste as good as advertised. I mean, I'm not sponsored by Keurig or anything, so I'm not out of school when I say this.
Are you sponsored by Krups?
I wish I was sponsored by Krups. I wish I was sponsored by Brown, and then I could get free cafeterias sent to my house.
We'll cut a 15-second for Krups right now, 15-second commercial for Krups, and maybe you can...
Whether you're Germanic in your intent or whether you simply adore spiked helmets, I think there's only one coffee maker for you, and it's Krups. It's the monarch of coffee makers. If Bismarck had one, he'd still be president today.
Wow, I'm sold. I'm going to go out and buy a Krups coffee maker. In the meantime, if you could add some cards to our deck, Greg.
Yes,
I'd
please.
appreciate it. You saw how much fun we had with Wyatt making his own. And today's winner is, it may look like Link from Zelda, but in fact, it's Zelda Fitzgerald. Do not be deceived. Greg Proops, thank you so much for playing.
Thank you for having me on, John. I appreciate it.
Yeah. So long, AV Clubbers.
Bye, Onion Peoples.
Bye.